Googlers, please welcome to the stage Tyler Perry, Taraji P. Henson, and Lyriq Bent.
Thank you.
You are welcome. There you are.
How do we do?
Sit in the middle.
You sit in the middle.
Okay.
Lyriq's at the end.
Hi.
What's everybody doing? You look good.
I do?
You look great.
Yes.
Yeah, you look really
Today?
good. Every day, but you look really good
well,
today.
thanks. Smart
Yeah.
man. Smart
See how quickly I fixed that?
Yeah.
You can fix that real quick.
Thank you.
Well, welcome, guys. Thank you for coming to Google. I think this is your first time here for each one.
It is.
Yes,
Yeah.
first time.
I know you've done a Google Plus Hangout before,
Yes.
but I don't know if you've actually done it on our campus, so welcome.
I have not, and I'm very excited to be here.
And we're excited to have you. And for those Googlers who didn't know, right before we came in, Tyler, Taraji, and Lyriq actually popped into a coding class that was happening right over here with Young Women's Leadership Academy.
Yes.
So we had about a dozen young ladies from Queens who I think they were doing some VR coding, and they just popped in. So all that screaming you heard, it wasn't me.
No, it was for you, William. It's for you. For you.
It's
William.
Yes, I wish. Anyway, thank you guys.
I'm sorry. Let me just forgive me right now, guys. I'm tired, and I'm stupid when I'm tired. So this may go straight silly. Just know. Just be prepared.
That was a disclaimer.
I'm ready.
That's a disclaimer. That's a disclaimer. Okay. All right.
I'm ready, and this is not being filmed at all. So
Okay. Good.
Oh, good.
Good.
Say F-bombs.
All right. Yeah.
You want to take those off now, though?
These guys, I'm going to take my shoes.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
So Acrimony. The name kind of says it all.
If you know what the definition is.
And I was about to say, so bitterness, rancor,
Anger.
malice, rage,
Yeah.
malice.
I didn't know what the definition was.
Oh.
I'd written this script, and I was like, I got to find a title for it. And I was watching CNN, and somebody was describing our president.
And you were like,
And they said, it's acrimonious. I said, what is that word? Bitterness, anger. That's the title of the movie. Acrimony in theaters March 30th.
well, you answered my first question. It was
Yeah.
like, how did you come up with the?
I already knew you were going there.
See, there you go.
Okay.
But this movie is a little bit of a departure from what you're known for. You're a worldwide brand known for making movies that are humorous and dramatic.
Watch it. Be careful.
But this is a thriller.
Yeah, no, it's a big departure for me. After doing Gone Girl and working with David Fincher and seeing his brilliance, and I would watch he and Ben Affleck on the breaks talk about cameras and lighting and shots and this Hitchcock kind of feel that they wanted, and they want to make sure that the way the light falls. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? So I really started paying attention to it, and when I saw Gone Girl come together, I said, I want to do something like this. So I had this idea for a while, and I started writing it, and of course there was only one person who could play Melinda, and that's Taraji P. I mean, only one person.
So did you write the role of Belinda with Taraji in mind?
Melinda.
Melinda,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
That Belinda's for someone else. That's for Viola.
Viola. Oh my gosh. Yes, but no, totally wrote it with her in mind because, when I start writing a few of the scenes, what happens is the characters they speak to me. I could hear them as I'm typing, and then pretty soon I start to see a face, and the first face I saw was hers.
and then he calls me, and I'm like in the middle of filming Empire.
Yep.
I'm not done until months later. So I'm like, sure, I'll do it. My hiatus is. He said, no, now. I said,
because let me tell you something. Nobody does a film while they're shooting their television shows because you don't have the time. It's 16, 18 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week sometimes. So it's a crazy schedule. But for some reason, she said yes.
Well, because you wouldn't go away. Right. You wouldn't take no for an answer because I tried to give him every excuse. I was like, Tyler, I am Cookie
and
right
Cookie
now.
is so...
And I was like, how do I deprogram my instrument from being Cookie?
I heard all that bullshit.
He was like, he let me finish and he was like, Okay, you've been living with Cookie for 3 years now. You got that. You can come and do this. And I was like, okay, I was so nervous and scared, and that's why I did it. Because if it doesn't scare me, then I'm not gonna change. I'm not gonna transform in any way. So I don't do roles that don't really scare me, not unless the check is good. There's a thing that zeros can scare you.
But the first scene that we shot, it was Cookie.
The first scene.
It was
The
Cookie.
very first scene.
And I pulled you aside and said, nope, that's Cookie.
What was the first scene?
It didn't make it in the movie. It's the trash can where you come out and with the trash can and his idea is in the trash can and you drop the cigarette ash on it. You're like, thank good that shit is over. And then you get in the car and you drive off.
Oh, you cut that?
Yeah, because that was Cookie.
Well, you called me in the middle of being Cookie. So
I say that to say this. I say that to say this. She's like, you know what? You're right. You're right. Now watch this. Like that. She comes back and she's Melinda. Every scene, the voice, the eyes. The way this woman looks up at him. It's chilling, man. It's crazy.
No, it's true. And I was looking at that character while I was
my heart has been broken
screening,
before.
and
I'm just saying.
I was kind of shocked. I mean, you played strong characters. Tough characters. I have yet to see you play a character like this, and it seemed like it was kind of scary. I mean, it was definitely scary.
I've been waiting for this. Ever since I've seen Fatal Attraction, I've been gunning for a character like this. And it was great because I'm always playing the righteous female. You know, she's really always the moral compass, you know, the stand-up kind of woman, strong and powerful. I wanted to do this because she's that, but in another light. Right. She's made up this story, and I mean, we've all been there. You know, your man get a text. It's a simple text. It could be from a cousin. You know, maybe he didn't see the cousin in 10 years. I don't know. But we will take that and run with it, child. This is his woman he's been dating for 10 years. He has a whole nother family I don't know about, and it's nothing.
Every woman in here is not agreeing with you.
No, but see, I do that.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I do that. Okay, I will take something, and we're all capable of it. Right. But then there's that one. We're capable because then there's that one part of you that's the rational. Where you gotta go, okay, this is stupid. Like, I can't, this is not happening. Well, Melinda didn't listen to that voice. Right. She just took her story and ran with it.
Right, well, right, I mean, she's pure rage, and if I remember correctly, very early on in the movie, as Melinda's talking about herself, she says, my rage is like this discrete thing. It's like something that's separate and apart from her. Which is kind of amazing, and I want to kind of come back to that because you touch upon mental health just a little bit in the movie, and I wanted to explore that more. But I wanted to get more into the character of Melinda, and then go to Lyriq because the character seems to be off, to say the least. Did you? And you talked about your, what you did to build out that character. Mm-hmm.
Basically, he's saying you're off.
No. Well, Tyler, that's what you think about me?
No.
But she's also she's broken and she's hurt, and so is Lyriq's character. So there's a lot there. But I wanted to know how you got into that character.
Well, I mean, we've all had a broken heart. If you haven't, you haven't loved. But, you know, I've had those moments where I had to talk myself out of scratching up a car or throwing a brick through. Come on, you know, when your heart is hurting, you want that person. Hurt people, right? So if you hurt me, my natural reaction is to get you back, right? So, but then you have to grow up and you have to realize that jail is not for me.
Right.
So I'm gonna keep driving and pretend like I don't see the car. You know, I'm not. So this was a role for me to act out all of those things I thought about and wanted to do when I had a broken heart. And not go to jail.
Including show up with an axe, but yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So.
I have this one hair that's driving me crazy. I'm so sorry. Okay. This
is what I deal with on set. We'll be in a serious scene. She'll be like, and if you do that again, what the hell is going on with this hair right here? That's what we deal with all the time. All the time.
You'll be looking at me like, shh, be quiet. You know, because people, I have a weird way of operating, like working. You know, you have actors where you have to be quiet.
Whole set.
You can't move.
No one moves.
You right there, sit
Why
down.
is she on her phone?
Why are you standing
I
up?
can't
No,
concentrate
it's
now.
literally like that. And I could act in the middle of a damn circus. I mean, literally. And I'll do these scenes where I'm just like, and everybody's like tiptoeing around me, and then they'll go cut. And I'm like, yeah, so anyway, child, last night when I went to the...
Right back at it. Right back. Deep, serious stuff.
Was that off-putting Lyriq, working that way, or do you work a different way?
He's very calm.
No, listen, this whole interview about to change. It's about to get real calm, real leading man, real sexy. Just
Right.
watch.
Right. Go ahead.
Go ahead, the switch.
And then we're the peanut gallery.
Right. I'm sorry, ask him your question. Go ahead.
I forgot the question.
Go ahead, Denzel Jackson Jr.
Denzel Jackson.
Was this your first time acting with Taraji?
It was.
And how was that?
It was a great experience. I never thought that this moment, this opportunity would be in my career. So it was something that was surreal, still beside myself a year later. So working with Taraji was great because I'm seeing her on Empire. I've seen all her work before. I was just like, okay, I got to come prepared. I got to make sure that I didn't know she was that intense. I had no idea she was intense. I like to believe that her characters are different than the person, so I didn't think of her as Cookie. But the professionalism that she brought to the set was second to none. And I came prepared. I'm always prepared. I like to believe that. But then when I saw the level of professionalism, after one could think, you could just relax because I've made it, got a big show, you could come on and just like stop a set because, that one hair is out of place type of thing. Yeah. But it was never that. It was like what you see is what it is. Yeah. And I was very thankful for that. No, really.
I have your check.
No. We didn't really get a lot of time together because it was so fast.
She didn't want to spend time.
And she there was a disclaimer to not spend any time.
Well,
No.
that's kind of remarkable though, because while the movie title character is you, really it's about the relationship between your character Robert.
I'm gonna have to fix this because this is called.
That's a Virgo for you.
I also know you're a stickler for detail.
That is a Virgo. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I don't know where you were in the question, but I just have to big him up for a second. Like, I had never met Lyriq before. I didn't know, and I trust Tyler, so he says this guy is great. So of course I Google, and I go, oh my God, he's amazing. Like, he's handsome. Okay, I can do this. But because it's all about a chemistry. And the great thing about this is that whether the chemistry was there or not, it was okay because we really didn't like each other for the part of the film that we started, because they start with the kids first playing us and then we grow up. So by the time we come in as ourselves in the character in the movie, we don't like each other. Like the relationship has fallen apart. So I wasn't like, the chemistry didn't really have to be there as if we were madly in love, but it still helps to show a past that there was, you can see the chemistry used to be there at some point. Right. And so when I met him, I remember the first scene we did, for me, it's the eyes, and his eyes are so, like he was so vulnerable. Yeah. Something in his eyes, so strong, but yet he could break in any moment. And that's where that character was. And I just was like, Tyler, where did you find him?
That was brilliant.
Then a year later, I look up and he everywhere. Yeah. Did y'all see him on She's Gotta Have It? I was like, is that Lyriq?
Brilliant. Yeah, I've been pretty fortunate to lay eyes on some amazing talent before they hit, and he is definitely one of those people, and I think that his future is going to be so amazing because he is an incredible actor. He is just what he brings and the vulnerability, and I mean he's leading man material.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, I don't see a lot of that anymore, especially in men of color. So, but he is definitely that. And I can tell you when we're going down casting, trying to cast a movie, and you start looking for the leading man, that leading man of color, that list is really
short.
Really short. So he definitely should be on that list.
My chicks don't have that many zeros.
Oh, they coming. They're coming. Hang in there.
Well,
hold on.
Can I tell you my favorite part of the film?
Sure.
Is I think it's the second scene or something when she's in with the therapist. There's a camera move that I did that that it's just nothing special. It's just low on the track and it just pushes in on her. And it's about a 4-minute scene that I didn't want to cut. I didn't want to edit it at all. I want it to be raw so people can see the brilliance in this woman. I mean, so that scene is uncut. She is sitting there on the sofa doing this long monologue, and she sets up the whole movie, but it shows you how brilliant, how brilliant she is as an actor. It's incredible. It's incredible, and I left it that way on purpose. So
it's nerve-wracking, actually. That scene. It's so subtle.
That scene scared the hell out of me.
It scared me.
No, when she saw it back, she's like, "Who is that?" I'm like,
well, no, I'm gonna tell you why. As an actress doing television, it scared me because we didn't cut.
Right.
He was like, "No, I need this all in one take," and we only had 3 days to do it.
Yeah,
My whole part of the film, we shot in 4 days. The whole movie was done in 8 days. We have to protect this man because, no, seriously, because he can, he can rid a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. Well, let's just shut up. We don't want Mr. Perry to come up missing. Yeah.
I'm a big dude, though. I'll go out and fight.
There will be a lot of haters.
No, it will because so many people think their jobs are important, but we won't go there. Just keep talking about the movie. But so I was so nervous because I had so much dialogue to say, and I didn't have the luxury of cut. Can we just pick it up from here? And it was like he needed all of that dialogue in one take. But that's when that theater training came in.
Yeah, because I wanted the audience to see when you throw an actor into a role and you don't cut. Like, for those of you who don't know, a cut is you jump to a close-up or you jump to a side shot, you jump to another shot. It's one shot pushing in on her, and she delivers like it's chilling. And if you don't know who Melinda is in that moment at the beginning of the movie, you won't. Yeah.
The other character, though, Robert, I said to Lyriq as we were coming in, I said, I actually thought that character that you wrote was the most complicated one because it's through his character that you shift perspective. And that's really one of the great things about the movie is because you think it's this movie about trust and betrayal, and there's this steadfast woman who's with this unfaithful man, and this is revenge, and actually
it's a different story.
It's a different
because
story.
If you notice in the beginning of the movie, it's told. What's that?
We can't tell them.
Yeah.
The room has this room seen the film?
I don't think that they have. So I'm trying not to.
No. I set it up though. In the beginning of the movie, she is telling the story from her point of view.
Right.
So you're in it from her point of view, and then there's a shift where you go, wait a minute, is this right? What is she saying? Did that really happen, or was that true? And you realize that as you're watching the film, that there are two perspectives to this. It's like in every relationship that goes bad. There's her side, and there's his side, or there's his side, her side, whatever.
And then there's the truth.
And then there's the truth. And this was born out of me counseling a lot of friends who have gone through things, and I would sit down with them, and I would be friends with him or friends with her, and we'd sit down and have a conversation separately, and they saw two different moments that tore them apart. And I was like, how could this be that? And I remember really trying to get this one person to see this other side of it, and she couldn't. She would not allow it because what it would mean is that she would have to take responsibility in her own and what she did wrong. So yeah.
Right. That was my. There were a few aha moments, and that was definitely an aha moment when it switched perspectives.
And it's so easy how we're so quick to jump on the girl's side.
Because y'all do that though.
But I'm just saying.
You do that. You go get all your girlfriends and you get your girl nation to come up against. And girl, he did this, and he did that, and
he
then
just
he did
set
this,
us up, ladies, because he wrote the movie like that.
He did this and he did that. And like, okay,
now he's throwing us all under the bus.
No. I'm just saying. There's always another side. I'm pretty good about taking a moment and stepping back, and like even when I can remove the emotion within myself, I'm like, okay, let me just look at this from both sides. Because a lot of times people run out on relationships that could have been really, really good, but they couldn't remove themselves from the middle of the emotion. If you can take yourself out of it and step back for a minute and go, okay, maybe I could have handled this better, or maybe I could have did this. But the first thing you ask yourself is, what did I do wrong? Own your own stuff first, and then you can work on fixing it. How did we get into relationships?
He's so good. Because how did he save my relationship? Because I had my sneakers on.
Hey, come back.
Come back.
But a lot of
I was pew.
I can't believe he went there.
No, I was pew.
Pew.
He was like, not so fast.
I have never heard anybody say they were pune.
I was pure.
That's faster than
said it
gone.
in a long time.
That's faster than gone. That's pune. That's the new movie. Instead of Gone Girl, it's Pune Girl. Oh, I got it. Acrimony Part 2. Pune.
Right, pune.
I don't even know how to spell that.
This is how it is on sets with him. It's crazy. Okay.
But
And Lyriq was trying to be so, serious.
Oh, you don't
And we were just two clowns, and he was looking at us like,
You
is
don't
this how
understand.
it is?
Lyriq would come just set looking just
Just
like
like
he is
that.
there.
Calm. Meanwhile, I'm over the side like,
right. Lyriq, he would come up to me. I said, okay, because I move really fast. Put the camera here. Okay, and everybody get over here and make sure you got it. It's right frame, man. Okay, let's go. Lyriq would come up to me. He'd go, I'm sorry, what are we doing? I was like, oh, maybe I'm sorry. I need to explain because I'm the director. Let me explain to you what this is. I'm sorry. I just thought you got it. But yeah. But
and you do them out of sequence also, right? So,
Yeah.
yes.
Right.
Oh, but
so-
this was the, I'm sorry. I have to say this. We have totally taken over your entire panel.
It's okay. I think they're
he
enjoying
got all these questions. You ain't got none of them, William. You ain't got none of them.
I did my homework. I was watching like
He was
YouTube
ready.
clips and like all sorts of things. Anyway,
It's all right, William.
Well,
It's all
there's
right.
this one scene in the film where it's this fight scene. He shows up and all hell breaks loose. Me and my sisters jump his ass.
That's
But
the Girl Nation,
it was crazy because he had Tyler, again, his brilliance. He had all of these cameras set up to get all of the angles. So this cut out six cameras. So he had the crane shot. He had somebody with a steady cam on the track. There were cameras everywhere. This is unheard of. In a feature, you do it 4, 5, 10 times to get all of those angles. We did it, two takes at the most. And what he would do, we would start the fight. So if I got somebody hair,
It wasn't supposed to be a fight.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fight. No.
It ended up being.
It became a fight.
See how he was? Because he never read that in the script. I don't understand.
It wasn't a fight.
Oh, but it wasn't
a fight.
It was a disagreement.
And that came-
And then after I tell her what's happening, I leave to go about my business.
I
And
blacked
she
out.
decided that it's not gonna go like that. It's gonna be a fight, and it ended up on the front lawn of the house. The scene is supposed to be in the house.
did I do that?
I saw that scene and I thought I'm like, wow, that's real. But
But
clearly
you
it was
said
just-
that. I didn't go rogue.
No, this is one of those moments where I didn't fill him in.
Oh.
We
I was not filled in.
We talked about it, but I didn't fill him in.
Oh.
But that's what I'm sorry. We were all on the same page.
Well, that's one of my questions was that how
Sorry,
much
Lyriq.
did you improv? And
That wasn't
clearly
improv. That
was
was a
improv
shock.
on you. No.
That was a shock.
Shot. It was good though. It was so real.
That's
So
what I
real.
enjoyed
That was
about
the
it.
first day I had to beat his ass on the first day.
And I would say hold, and they would stop.
We
and
would
freeze
stop. So
right
I
where they
had
are.
his hair, or I had this ankle, and we would have to freeze like that, and then we would like action, and you have to continue
While
fighting.
I
It was the
reset the cameras and
craziest
things
thing
like
I'd ever
that,
done.
But it works well, and it keeps the actors in the moment.
Yeah.
Me being an actor, I want to be in the moment. I don't want to sit and do 5,000 takes of something.
That
I don't
drains
wanna,
me.
Yeah, let's just go and get it and give me 2-3
You
hours
created a
of
monster. I'd be on Empire like, you got it. Come on, bring that camera. It's terrible. You have created
That
a
is
monster.
that is the bittersweet of it. After you do something like that and you show up on set, you're like,
Right.
like, let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
because
go.
Because
You're
we were
sitting around
Yeah, we
drains
were
you.
doing 15 pages a day on the.
I can work like
shooting
that.
15 pages a day on the.
I
Now,
can do
for
it.
you to understand what that means, you have to understand what they shoot on a regular Hollywood picture. They shoot 2 pages a day at the most, sometimes 3. If they get to 3 or 4, they think they're going really fast.
Yeah.
And we were at 15, 16 pages a day. So. Yeah.
But that's how you normally work, right?
Yeah, oh,
I mean,
yeah, oh,
the
yeah.
efficiency
He's gotten better.
of your
Yeah.
productions.
Yeah.
It's kind of astounding. Like
Yeah.
you could do a television series in
A day. Yeah.
You can do a movie. This one was done in 8 days.
Yeah. We shoot the have and have-nots in a day. And if Love Me Is Wrong, we shoot in a day. But a lot of that is about. A lot of that is
I like
about.
to work like that, Tyler, and we've never done television together. That's how you get a job.
But
job, you go.
but you're on the biggest show on television right now. Let's talk.
No, that's coming to an end at some point.
Just enjoy the ride. It's going to be around for a long time.
But you said a day. I haven't a hiatus.
We shoot in a day. What happens in that? Because I have a studio in Atlanta, and part of me building this studio was so that I can do that. I can go from scene to scene, set to set, all on the base. I don't have to travel across the city. I don't have to go from stage to stage. I have built this world for me to be able to do that, and now it's become a world where other films are coming to be filmed there, like, such as Black Panther and Universal shooting Wakanda Forever. Universal shooting there, HBO, Walking Dead is shot there. There's a lot of things that are shot there now. So it's a world that I've created that allows me to move that fast, and I have a good team. I bought a bunch of green folks that have never done anything, that wanted to be in the business, and taught them so well that now they're breaking off and going on to other films. But having all these young kids, a lot of them, people talking about inclusion writer, I need a non-inclusion writer because I got everybody there already.
It's so beautiful.
amazing.
He actually he told me on set, he said, I go to colleges and I hire these kids that the industry's not gonna hire. That's why he's so blessed, because he gave me my quote. I mean, I don't know how many people read my book, but it's in there. They don't understand what a quote is.
That's a Hollywood.
I never had a quote to be paid. Like when I did all those movies y'all saw me in, up until I did the first movie, I Can Do Bad All By Myself, I was working without a quote, which means they were paying me chicken feed, basically.
So it's what your quote. This is how they pay you in movies. Used to, but this has changed. But whatever your quote is, it's like what's the highest amount of money you've ever gotten paid, and whatever that number is, that's what they base you on. Well, this is what we'll offer you, and a lot of those numbers were a lot lower. So we set it then as at a higher number, higher than you ever had, and even with this one, higher than you ever had. So it changes the financial picture for the actor and actresses. So it's and being able to do that for her and a lot of other people, that's been really great. Really great.
He was very no. He was very generous with me as well.
He's so cool. He's so cool. He's just so cool. I just want to hang out in his pocket, just go wherever he's going. So cool. Where we going now, Lyriq? Where we going now? So cool.
No, real talk. He was very generous, and it's refreshing to be in this crazy business and to work with people who you're not second guessing their purpose and their reasons for what they're doing. It's just a good feeling to be in that environment.
Yes, I will always work with Mr. Tyler Perry.
Well, it sounds like once you go Tyler, you never go back.
Did you really just say that?
It's in my notes.
It goes because for me, being a person, especially being a black man in this business, and this is not about racism at all. This is just about race, understanding that the value of our own people and letting us know, treating us all well, letting us all know. I mean, if you came to the studio right now and you walk through the campus, because it's a 330-acre campus and 12 sound stages.
It's amazing.
And in the city of Atlanta, and you walk through the campus and you see these kids in their faces, and I know every one of them, and to shake their hands and to empower them, make them feel. I feel you have to just drive through the gates to really get it, but that the energy and the spirit of what is happening there, I just wanted to permeate all over the world. And I look at, for 10 years, I was the only one out there, the person of color, making film and doing television for a long time, and I took a lot of attacks because people would come to my shows looking for themselves in my basket. They're like, this shit that ain't me, that ain't representing black people, that ain't. So I took a lot of hits for that, right? But the issue with it is this. The fights that I was having, like paying people equally and behind closed doors, telling people that there are many of us who have stories that need to be told. So to sit here in this seat and see Issa Rae on her show, and to see Empire, and to see Donald Glover on Atlanta, to see Black Panther and Ryan Coogler, I am celebrating, man. I'm so happy that this moment has arrived for so many. But I caution them, because I call a lot of people in success. I said, come, let's sit down, come to Atlanta, come, let's sit down, let me talk to you, let me explain to you about ownership. because that is the way you really change things. This will be a great wave and then it'll go away, because if you look back in history, we've seen this before. Right. This wave of this African-American call, everybody loves everybody, power to the people.
7 years. They call it 7 years. That's what Lawrence Fishburne said. It's a cycle of 7 years.
7 years.
For 7 years, I'm gonna get all my money I can while I can in 7 years. And then it goes away. Right. It's like I said, but we hope that it's so.
The difference is this: ownership. This is what I'm trying to get everybody that I meet with or talk to about ownership. Me owning all of my copyrights, me owning all of my shows, me owning every movie, me owning everything, has put me in a position where not only can I have a studio where 9,000 people have went through the gates to come to work last year, but also to have generational wealth for my son and his children. And if they manage it right after I'm dead and gone, what that means is it's passed on to so many people. So if you want real change comes with ownership. As long as you're renting the house and somebody else owns it, they have the power. So that's what I'm trying to get a lot of us to come together to understand. And doors open. Come on, learn.
Okay, I want to own some stuff with you. Come on.
Learn.
Own some things.
I want to see you gotta own your own thing. You gotta own your own thing.
That's fine. I don't want to own your stuff. I want to own mine. How do I own your stuff? You already own it.
You just said that, though.
I said I will come.
Let's own some stuff together.
Oh. Yeah, that's not what I mean.
Okay.
You know what I meant.
Yes. Let's collaborate.
Let's collaborate so you can help me own my
Lord,
own.
how much longer I got to be up here with you?
I know. Well, not much longer, because I know you guys are pressed for time. If you're game, we'd love to take a couple of questions from the audience before we leave, and while Googlers are lining up, either at that mic or
I thought that mic was a hand. I was like, you over there. The mic.
I wanted to ask one last question. Going back to the themes of the movie, it seemed like you were not just writing a movie about trust and betrayal and relationships, but you were actually talking about and poking at some big myths and stereotypes about the strong black woman or the angry black woman. Could you talk a little bit about that? Was that the intent, or were you just like thrown in there to?
When people say things like this always fascinates me, because when I'm writing, I'm literally listening to what the characters want to say. I'm not trying to make a statement. I'm not trying to make a point as much as it is. Let's hear what she has to say. And the more I wrote, the more she showed up, the more she said. What I realized this moment is about is for all of those people who can't let go, for all of those people who can't forgive, for all of those people who spend their entire lives looking at what happened with the one that got away, rather than going forward to see what else is out there for them. Because what happens a lot of times, especially with women, is they, after a bad divorce, they feel like they have wasted the best years of their life with someone, and that promise was supposed to be forever. And the anger and the rage of that can become bitterness and fester and destroy the person. So for me, my hope with people, the takeaway is, don't be her. Don't be her. Don't be her. Life goes on. And whatever didn't happen with you and this person, there's somebody wonderful. You're missing them because you are so stuck on this, and you got all these people passing you by, you can't even get to it. And the happiest people I know are the ones who came out of a divorce, no matter how ugly it was, and then ended up finding the person of their dreams. Like, oh my God, I'm so glad I went through that, because now I know how to treat you, I know how to be there for you, and I know how to make this work. So, yeah.
Great. First question.
Tyler, thanks for coming, everybody. My question for you, I think you hit on an interesting subject in that the two sides of the relationship is a common theme in your movies, kind of like the counseling. Is that something that's really present in your personal life, or is there another reason why you think that's a common theme in your work?
You know what happened for me? I only wrote about experiences that I knew or had something similar in my own life. But what I found when I look back at some of the work now, the ones that I can look at, because I can't look at all the Madea movies I sit there going, I can't watch it right now. But what I found is when I'm writing a black woman, and when I'm writing her struggle, when I'm writing her pain, or any woman for that matter, in any of her pain and what she's going through, I realized I was talking to my mother. Because as a little boy watching the things that she went through, I was hoping one day she would get it. So if somebody sees something that I've written and it changes their life, which has happened, where there have been women who've sent me emails. They've been in terrible, horrible relationships, but after seeing, I got this letter from a family that said, "You did in an hour and a half what we've been trying to do for 12 years. My sister's leaving an abusive relationship." Wow. So that's what it's about for me. So I realized early on that I was speaking to her from the little boy that I was. So I don't know who I was talking to for this one, but there we are. Yeah, thank you.
I do, but I'll never tell.
Great. Hi, thanks for coming. I saw Proud Mary, by the way. I thought it was a great movie.
Proud Mary.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I also saw one of your interviews where you're talking about how they don't want to bring black actors abroad, and they think, oh, you don't sell abroad. Yet with Tyler, with your studio, and you're like basically owning the whole vertical, I think that's really powerful, and including like what you said about generational wealth. I'm doing something similar in real estate. So I wanted to ask 2 questions. One, Tyler, do you see yourself expanding more into the movie industry and like maybe doing television, basically taking over some more? And Taraji, are we going to see you in any more action movies?
What else is he gonna take over? Another planet?
I'm pretty much in every area. I am moving toward my own streaming service, though. I am moving toward.
That's what he can do next.
Yeah. So that's what I'm working towards. But when you talk about movies not traveling internationally, this is something that we've been battling for many, many years. That's why the success of Black Panther spoke to so many levels, having international success, because we have been told for years that stories with people of color don't translate, they don't travel overseas, and we've been trying to debunk that myth for a while.
Because it's totally a myth. I mean, I was in China filming for 3 months. China.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And, China is a very controlled country. It's communist still. And, you can't really watch movies there. So they have these stores where you can go get all of the DVDs from everything. And it's black market. You don't really go to jail for it unless they decide to sting. You don't get no money from it. I saw every last one of my movies there.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, I've seen
I saw Not Easily Broken there. Wow. Okay? That movie, I don't even think did 700 theaters here, but it was in China.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't understand that.
Not true.
It's not true. It's just that you have to spend money to make money. I have a personality. I know I sell over there because Empire took me over there, and I was in a room, 1,500 standing room only. They didn't call me Cookie. They called me Taraji P. Henson. This was in Paris.
Paris, okay.
And they didn't know I was in the audience. And Lee Daniels was sitting on the stage, and they said I started asking a lot of Cookie questions, and he said, "Well, why don't you ask her? She's here." When I stood up, the entire room stood up and started applauding. I cried because they lied to me. You trying to tell me these people just met me during Empire? So then we finished the Q&A. I go outside. They are coming up to me with every jacket of all the movies that I've done.
Yeah, right.
I was so in my feelings that entire trip.
That's our next battle. Battle, to prove that we do sell in international markets. That is the next battle. And the thing about it, what you have to understand about this is I really do not believe that this is racism. I really do not believe that. What I believe is, as you just said, you spend money to make money. And somebody has to make the initial investment in going over there. Will Smith was brilliant when he took me over. He was doing 7 pounds. I was like, I want to break in over there. He said, come, let me explain something to you. So I went to 7 territories with him and watched how he worked it. And he had a way in from Rap and Fresh Prince so long before. So it's just we're getting there. It's a slow thing. It's a fight, but we've got to convince more people to spend the money.
They're afraid. What if it fails? I'll lose my job. But somebody has to have the balls to take a chance, to take a leap of faith, because it's going to blow. It'll happen. If you just take a chance.
Right.
If somebody just takes a chance on me.
Next question.
We got our own jet, Tyler.
Thank you. Thank you.
We.
I'm gonna sing
How are you
the
guys?
few, Bill.
Lyriq, Taraji, Tyler, thank you so much for coming. And your role in Empire, I started watching from the beginning. Me and my husband, I'm like, we have to catch Empire this week because it's just so powerful to see just all these different emotions and this depth and this character that, growing up, there was a few examples, but now it's just overwhelming. It's so amazing with the choice. But you guys mentioned something like this lie of like not being able to sell. And I think back to the point you made about payment, right? Like how, you know, the statistics, Black women and Latinx women are making so much less. And what are your thoughts on the transparency around that? Because you just mentioned that you got a quote in the beginning, and the transparency on being able to say there are people who are willing to pay me for what I'm worth, so I don't need to accept it from someone else. How do we change that, like with more transparency around people who are doing it right?
Well, I tell you what's changed in the industry right now. You can't. They don't go off quotes anymore, which is great. So whatever movie you offer, like before, you would call up the agent and go, okay, what's her quote? Oh, she made this amount of money on the last movie. So okay, so I'm going to offer her that. Now with everything that's happening with equality and inclusion and diversity, the industry standard is you cannot ask what someone's quote is. Which is a good thing in a lot of ways. It's slowing down a lot of the negotiations because people don't know what to ask, so what to offer. So they're starting really, really low now. But it also erases that moment of I'm going to pay you based on what your last thing was, as opposed to I'm going to pay you on where you are now, what your worth is, and what you're doing.
Okay, so here's where all my hard work for 20 years come in. Pull out the stat sheet. We got statistics. Where the receipts, baby. Because I know one thing I can do. I can open a film. I can get you what you paid on your film back. I know that much. Now, with the help of the studio, I can get you even more. So you got to pay me now.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
Because I'm going to be like, because Tyler Perry did.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm so excited you guys are here. Thank you so much. So my question is about your past history together working on other films. So which one was your favorite that you guys did? My favorite is The Family That Prays. So I just want to know what your favorite is. And then also, what is the difference or your preference between working together as actors and just acting versus directing? Because I know you do both, Tyler. So what's your preference? What are the differences?
My favorite is this one we've done, and once you see it, I think you'll know why. It's just the level of growth from Family That Prays to this. I'm proud of the level of growth that I've experienced, but also just I love being. I love acting with her, but I much rather direct her because I want to be behind the camera, and I'm leaning toward going more and more that way as time goes on. But working with her on this was just yeah.
I just enjoy working with him. It doesn't matter. Because if he's in front of the camera, 9 times out of 10, he's also directing himself too. So.
and I can't, when I'm directing myself, I can't have as much fun as if I'm just directing the film. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I do enjoy you better when you're just directing.
Thank you so much for coming. This is so fun. So you're talking about all your long days on set and being really efficient in that time. So I was just kind of curious, like, what are your non-negotiables when you first show up on set first day? Like, what do you need there, and what kind of do you do to rejuvenate yourself and like re-energize?
You want me to go get your rider, or do you want? No, I'm kidding. She had a requirement of crab legs.
Me or
no? Talking to you. Talking to you. I don't
require much.
No, you don't. I'm kidding. I don't just crab legs and wine.
And my zeros on my check and them
zeros on your check. Zeros on your check.
As long as you get that right, I don't care what's in the trail. I get it myself.
I don't. Right. I don't have any crazy requirements. What I ask is just because I just did a film recently where I ended up paying for a lot of stuff myself because they didn't want to, basically. So and I'm okay with that because I'm okay to go and improve myself and show you what I can bring to the table. So I don't have a bunch of crazy requirements. I don't need a lot. Just I have a bag with my own stuff in it, and we go from there.
And then what do you kind of do at the end of the day to like rejuvenate and like get ready for the next day?
Smoke weed? No, really. No.
I thought it was a shot.
No, for me.
I know you don't.
Right.
That was a weed shot.
The weed shot, right? No. I've never done any drugs. But I do have trouble sleeping. So what I started doing was having some vodka, and then I realized this could be a problem if you keep doing this. So right now, what I'm trying to train myself is to calm my mind down enough to go to sleep without anything. But I did try a weed drink once. There's a friend of mine. She said you got to try this to help you sleep, because she had said she had tried Ambien and this was working. This was perfect. This will help you sleep. So I'm like, okay, I tried it, took a shot of it. Nothing happened. Next night she said, well, take 2. Nothing happened. Next night she said, well, take 3, because you're a big guy. Maybe say, so I took 3 shots of that weed drink. It was a pink lemonade. Dude, my legs started growing.
You still high. This was last year. He's still high.
My legs started growing. I couldn't open. I was trying to pull my mouth open. It wouldn't open. Then she FaceTimed me, and I was hiding behind the camera because I didn't want her to see me. And I said, God, if you get me out of this, I will never, ever touch this weed stuff again in my life. So no, with how I relax, I just lay there until I fall asleep.
Last question.
We gotta go?
Sorry, nope.
We talked too much?
That was the last question. Sorry.
Anyway. We can't let
the two. Hey, come, real quick.
Okay.
So my question kind of changed, right?
You have what?
Oh, can I
Okay.
ask, or? Cool. All
Yep,
right.
you're on.
All right. So first off, thank you all for coming.
That ain't no question. Get to the question.
No, I am really quick. I just wanted to be thankful. I wanted to be thankful. So, 2-part question, really fast. One, although I know I look like Ryan Coogler, I am not as talented as he. So are you going to have or do you plan to open up and actually start having some screenwriting classes or things of that nature that we can maybe attend if we want to start getting into your industry? And then the second thing is, do you have any plans to come to Broadway so that we can increase the amount of black faces that we see there as well? So
I think, I'm definitely going to start an incubator system where we have talent once the studio's completely finished being built, where we bring talent in from all over the places, writers, directors, producers, because I'm 48 and I'm going to start slowing down, so I'm looking for the next wave. So definitely going to do that. And as far as Broadway goes, I'm thinking about working on a one-man show and finally taking on Broadway. So I'm thinking about doing that. So
I was first, so come see my one-woman show first, and then.
Okay, great.
Anyway.
Great.
All right. Well, my question originally changed because you mentioned your extracurricular activities. No, I'm just playing. But what's it called?
You want to know where to get
this
it
question is, I was gonna say what's your favorite? But anyways, what's it called?
I don't
this
have one.
question is for Lyriq, right? I kind of wanted to bring the attention onto you. So I liked what you did with She's Gotta Have It. I was hoping that Nola was gonna pick you, but it happens.
Oh, I didn't even finish. You just.
How do you like playing the love triangle role? Like, I feel like you're always involved with like multiple people. So I'm like, let me ask him, what's your personal life like?
Okay. What's your
Did you just have some pink lemonade?
A little bit.
I gotta get this answer.
I did not mean to put you on blast.
I don't mind playing those characters because they're real characters.
Right.
People can relate to them. I like real. I like raw. I like moments where it takes over and it's not you being cerebral about it. So like Taraji said earlier, if I'm not scared or nervous about something, then something's wrong. So I like when I'm nervous and scared and I'm entering a new territory I know nothing about, which is why I had a lot of fun working in this environment because it was really scary. And it is, because as an actor, you want to be professional, and you want to know that your abilities, you have the abilities to get the job done. And when you're there, each night you talk about winding down. I couldn't, because I'm thinking, God, what happened today? There's a lot of this movie I don't remember.
No, that's real, because
real
like he
talk.
said, we were filming 15 pages a day.
So fast.
And I've not done that before.
Unheard of.
I've not done that before. So, a lot of these interviews, it's not because I'm super quiet. It's just, I just don't remember stuff. So, so when I hear them talk, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. It's like it's jogging my memory, and but it felt right. You know, it felt right, and there was never a time when I was really questioning, you know, if we're getting it, because Tyler was saying, you know, Tyler's saying we got it, and they're saying that I'm not answering the
No,
question.
because they want to know about your personal life.
We want the
You
juice.
like to be in the triangle.
He's happily married. We got to wrap up. So
Yes, exactly.
Let's get the last question.
Get
We gotta
to the
wrap up.
real
We gotta
answer.
wrap
No.
up. He's happily married. He's happily married.
You see how he ran all the
Hi
way on
guys,
that?
thanks so much for coming. Tyler, love you forever.
Thank
So many great movies. Taraji, 11th grade. I love you, Jody. That was it. Took me home. Love you since then. Lyriq, Jamaica, Kingston, born and bred. Respect.
Boom.
Really quick question. I just wanted to know, what were you guys' next big project that you'd like to work on, or you're already working on now?
Oh, I'm working on What Men Want, which is a remake of What Women Want that Mel Gibson did with Helen Hunt.
Yeah.
So,
that's gonna be fun.
ladies, we get to hear what men be thinking.
But that's coming out after mine comes out in November. It's called The List with Tiffany Haddish, Omari Hardwick, and Tika
Oh, how dare you promote somebody else while I'm here?
and Whoopi Goldberg just joined the cast, so we're good.
Oh, she might be joining my movie too.
And Lyriq.
And I'll be I got a film coming out called Napoli Ever After. It's
Oh yes, with Sanaa Lathan.
So again, you know, it's for the women. I like when women get, you know, represent females.
What are you doing? He didn't say court's adjourned.
And I was about to say, it says wrap
Oh,
it up.
wrap
So
it up.
everyone, if you
Okay.
could give them a round
We
of
got
applause.
Thank you guys. Thank you, everybody.